What's up, guys? What's up? Let me turn this down. What's going on? It's a pleasure to see y'all. Welcome back to another live stream / episode with your boy Suki in the building. Let's go. Let's go. It's a pleasure to be here on a grateful Sunday. Man, it feels like I haven't streamed in forever, and it's been a forever. The last time I streamed was almost 2 weeks now, and oh man, I keep saying I'm gonna become super consistent at it. That's one thing I'm struggling with. More so ideas rather than actually sitting down and streaming. But it's more so just digging into myself to figure this thing out because I miss you guys. It's a pleasure to see y'all. And again, thank you for joining me on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. If you're on the other side of the world, maybe a little bit later, but Sunday evening. But hey, welcome. I appreciate you. I'm going to dive right into it because I only have about an hour to talk, maybe like 45 minutes. But I just let $70,000 US through my fingers in this last month. And I'm going to say that the biggest reason I let this slip through my fingers is because I allowed doubt and fear cost me this pricely tag. So I'm in the gym yesterday, pumping iron, losing weight. If you don't know already, I'm already lost 10 pounds since I started my weight loss journey. That doesn't sound like much in 6 months, but you gotta take your wins when you can, bro. You gotta take your wins. So shout out to me for losing 10 pounds. It's been 3 pounds since I started my coaching, and then I started back in February after a young lady and I departed ways, and I said, you know what, I need to come back and to reinvest back into myself. And part of that relies on overcoming the fears I had of going to the gym, and more so the doubt, the long-term doubt. So this theme of doubt's going to play a lot in this live stream. So let me get back into the story. So yesterday I'm in the gym pumping iron, and I made a realization yesterday that I just allowed myself to fall into this trap that I'm continually fighting, even as a man, as an older man. Oh, not even an older man, as a man on his journey. And like I said, I allowed $70,000 to slip through my fingers. So, since I've been 18 and a little bit earlier, I've always been tracking the stock market. That's something I always saw as a tool to free myself financially. And, I always heard about the stories many years, like as a kid, like, oh my God, a stock market, blah, blah, blah. So when I was a young man, from 18, I've been trying to develop this skill of learning how to read stocks, learning how to understand companies and their intrinsic value, and all the things that comes with, learning about the stock market, because it is a powerful tool. And I also know how to trade options. So options is a derivative of stocks. I'm not going to get into because this is not financial advice. Just stick with the story. So there was a stock back in June. That I saw that was at an astronomically high value. That was unrealistic and mostly driven by the AI boom that's going on right now. And I was like, yo, like I was looking at it and I was like, bro, like this is not realistic. This is not realistic. And so if you don't know, you can buy stocks to invest long-term, or you can short them, meaning that you can bet against them and the value of your short increases the lower the stock goes in price. Potentially infinitely, because no, not infinitely. There is a cap of $0, but your gains can be can be can be exponential as well. So there was this, like I said, there was a stock there was extremely high, and I was like, yo, it's going to. I was like, man, this is throughout my life, or throughout my years of training. I've been studying the markets for over 10 years now, and I can't believe it's crazy to even say I've been studying the markets for 10 years. That's wild. Um, and I was like, yo, there's a huge chance in by next year that I will be able, like, this stock will decline in price at least by half. And I was like, yo, this is an easy bet. This is an easy bet, right? I can make some money off of this. So I looked into the cost. I looked into how much it would cost me to do all these things. And the initial cost was going to be around $15,000, the way I wanted to do it, 15K, right? And I was like, all right, well, I'll sit on it. I'll wait. Even though when a great idea happens, a man is supposed to take action immediately. That is how great ideas become something. Action is taken immediately. But I was a little scared. I was like, I don't really have 15K right now, obviously. And so it's because I'm struggling to figure out my business stream. I'm trying to struggle out, but I'm stretching things thin, right? But I could have made the bet. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna sit on it. And I'm gonna seek some counsel. So there was a guy I know who does option trading, a little bit younger than me, but he's been doing it and he's killing it. That's his only thing. I was like, all right, let me reach out to him. Reached out to him and he was like, yo, man, he was like, wow, that's a cool bet. He was like, that's not impossible, but this is how I would approach it. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, he told me the way I'd approach it. It was different from the way I wanted to approach it, which was more, like I wanted to do a long short, meaning like that's it. He wanted to do a spread, and I was like, okay, whatever. These are financial terms. Again, if you don't know what they mean, that's totally fine. But that's beside the point. So all right. And then I sat on it. I sat on even his advice, and I was like, yo, this isn't. I'll do this when I get the chance, right? I'll get around to it. And so this last Friday, markets closed at a nice discount. If you are an investor, markets closed at a very nice discount. Things were going down in price, and because things can only be high for so long. And I checked the stock, and it was trading. I'll tell you the numbers. I'm not going to tell you the actual stock, but I'm just trading. It was trading at 2,300 per share, right? When I saw that is unrealistic. It was trading at 2,300. And then I checked it last Friday, and the stock is now trading at around 1,200. That is a significant dip in less than 3 weeks, bro. In less than 3 weeks. And I'm sick in the head, bro. I'm sick. 3 weeks? Come on. And I was like, dog, I know this is a game. This is it, bro. This is it. So I was at the gym. Like I said, I started off the story. I was at the gym, pumping iron, losing weight, getting sexy. And I was like, man, fuck it. Let me do some calculations real quick based off of my bet. Let me see how much I actually did not gain, because I decided not to trust my own gut. So I ran through Gemini, and don't use the AIs for stock advice. Only use it for research in a sense of their value, their intrinsic value, their reports. Don't use it to decide to make that stock purchase. Please don't. Jesus, please don't. You're going to mess yourself up. But I was like, all right, yo, Gemini, this is what I wanted. I wanted a long-term put, which is a short for about a year. And again, I'm not going into the options details because that's a whole nother ball game. But I had a year to turn this investment into something. So I knew the price that I wanted to set the short at, which was 1,700. So from 23 to 17, right? If it goes past 17, I make even more money. I remember the pricing, and like I said, it would have cost me around 15K, right? So boom, I asked Gemini, and Gemini's like, yeah, here are your stats. It would have cost you 15K at that price of 2,300. Now that it's trading at 1,200, The average price of those contracts would have been around $35,000. So if I had bought two contracts, I would have sold and made a nice and most likely and the floor. The floor of it is 65, between 65 to 90,000, based off of volatility. Again, those are different things when it comes to options. Do not do it unless you know what the hell you were doing and you have lots of simulated practice and lots of scrapes and bruises in between with regular stocks. Jeez. Now I understand why people say this is not financial advice. But bro, I'm in the gym screaming and pulling my hair out. I'm going even harder on these weights because I'm mad as fuck. I'm mad as hell, bro. I'm fuming that if I had just taken the bet on myself, knowing what I knew, everything, and my odds of winning were greater than 70% chance, and I let that doubt completely destroy my gain, bro. I could have been walking away, and minus taxes, I would have easily been walking away with 60K right now. And you know how badly that'd be so nice for some income coming in, for paying off a bunch of debt and just making sure everything is nice for the next few months. I would have made 60 grand minimum in less than 3 weeks because of the experience that I have, knowing what I know, but I let doubt destroy my ability to act. And trust me, bro, I'm pushing weight. Yesterday I hit four plates on the deadlift. No, not the deadlift. I hit 4 plates on the leg extension machine. I was on 245 plates on the squat. And yes, yesterday was leg day. Bro, I was heated, bro. I was pissed because I was mad as hell. But hindsight is 2020, right? Hindsight is 2020. And I wanted to share that with y'all because fear and doubt is the biggest thing that you'll ever come across that will destroy you or stop you in your tracks of achieving what you want to achieve. Not the next person, not the environment, not where you live. Those are all factors. But the biggest factor of them all, and let me know if my audio is clipping, by the way. Let me know if my audio is clipping. The biggest factor that's going to come across your way to destroy what you're trying to do and what you're trying to build is literally yourself, dude. It is yourself. You will get in your own goddamn way. And it's amazing how many times I've let that happen in my life. And I'd always be like, bro, I'm screaming. And the last thing you want to do, you know those videos when you see online about like people saying, yo, like they're old in 80s, 90s, and they're like, man, the biggest thing that I regret is XYZ. It's never what they did. It's usually what they didn't do. And it just rings every time, man. It rings every time. And there was a young lady that my mom was listening to. And there was a young lady that my mom was listening to and on YouTube. And if you're not a Christian, that's totally fine. It was more so Christian related content. But the lady was talking about how it just kind of stung me because it was just like, when you die and you go to the pearly gates, bro. When you die and go to the pearly gates, someone just said, anyone know what this guy talking about? Yeah, read the title, bro. Read the title clearly. And the description. It will tell you what I'm talking about. So if you die and you go to the pearly gates and God asked you, and you had all this talent that you got inside you, and he came up to you and was just like, yo, what you do with it? Oh, well, I did this. And nothing, God, she said nothing more. No, she was a nothing. Oh, God hates nothing more than you going back up to the pearly gates, looking at him in the face and said, I ain't do nothing with the talent you gave me. And I was like, damn, damn, that joint stung, bro. I was like, ah, yeah, that stings. Nothing God hates more is the fact that you ain't use your talent, bro. And I wanted to talk about like besides those face in the slap moments, what you can also do to kind of build that confidence to in order to overcome those small doubts. Because we've all said, man, I'm a little scared of this, or I don't really know, bro. But fear, no, courage, what's that saying? Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the fact that you know there you do have fear, but you push through anyways. And here's the condol not the condolence. Here's the back rub that Gemini gave me. And let me read this joint verbatim. Hold up. This is the kick in the face that Gemini from said to me. Hold up. Let me read this joint. I was like, damn. You really trying to make me feel better. I appreciate you, but hold up. Let me see what Gemini said. Give me a second. Let me pull this up. This trying to run and running slow. My internet is garbage. All right. Gemini said to me, hold up. Hold up. What did Gemini said to me? God, give me a second. I was like, this is cute, but no thank you. Um, you didn't lose 70K today. You just paid $0 for a massive, undeniable proof of concept that your strategy works. The market will always spin out another opportunity, and next time you'll be backing up a proven track record. You know what? I appreciate you trying to make me feel better, bro. I appreciate you trying to make me feel better, but dog, I wish I want 70K right now. Like, what are we talking about? Again, minus taxes, right? What? That's a third about that. A third of 70. Hey, someone in the chat help me. Let's do that quick math for me. I ain't trying to do that right now. A third of yes, because if you don't pay your taxes, man, the IRS is gonna come over and bend you over. So, um, and it's just one of those things. But here's the opposite end. When you go through trials and tribulations, or you just actively pursue the things that you say you're going to do, that is where you again that's where you learn the skill of destroying that doubt, even though it's scary as hell. And the only reason I thought it was scary is because it's cash, right? That's always something that's the biggest part of us. When we lose that money, that's the thing that we're talking about, right? But I didn't look at it. I didn't look at it the way I should have looked at it. The way I should have looked at it was like, this is an opportunity to make more money off of 15, rather than looking at it from uh, a scarcity aspect of, damn, this is going to cost me. This is going to cost me, and this I'm going to lose this, rather than saying this is the cost of greatness. This is the cost of something that's going to benefit my life. Completely different aspects. And it's a lot of times we'll look at other things that won't make sense, that are more costly than anything, but we'll look at it as, oh, it's not a big deal. For example, for my fellas, ladies, I need you to sit down real quick and just, hang out with yourself, tussle your hair, and listen to the guy's perspective real quick. When you go on a date, right? When you go on a date, and let's say the date, say 4 hours max, right? From the time she finally says yes to the time you finally be like, she departs you, right? And let's say that she thinks you're cool, but she ain't really trying to give up buns for you. And that's okay. So you go on a date, it costs you around, if you're in DC, a date will easily cost you around $100, $100 minimum. If you running cheap, $200 at least for a cool time and a good night. And some guys will fight me on there. Oh, get it for free. Good for you, bro. I'm not as hot as you, so I can't get it for free. Thank you very much, but it is what it is. So you're going 4 hours, 4 hours a date. You hang out, you eat, you do whatever, you hang out. Well, I don't know what y'all are doing. If you're just going out to dinner, you're kind of boring. Ladies, come my way. I'll give you a better experience. But it costs you 4 hours of your life and some cash. But money is something you can always make back. Time, you can never make that back, bro. So that time you spent is way worth more. It's way worth more than you've actually spent, right? If you put a dollar amount on your time, my dollar amount is $500 an hour right now, starting, right? That's just how I see myself as I'm going through my journey. And yo, that means if I spend 4 hours, that's 2K. And I spend $200 on a night out because it's not just me, it's her as well. And I get no buns, bro. 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 But you know what? Some guys would say, "Oh, that's nothing, bro." Yeah, that's nothing. All right, bro. You clearly don't value your time and effort it takes. But we'll look at something like that, like, oh, what's worth more? You making a guaranteed 70 grand or 70% chance of making a 70 grand or having a 30% chance going on a date and not closing with the girl. I'll wait. What's the better odd? Clearly, the better odd is the first one and not the latter. Like, come on now. Like, you get more out of it. So we can look at it from those different perspectives. But here we go. And here's the thing. Again, how do you overcome those fears? How do you overcome those things? Again, it's taking this little small action steps that you set for yourself throughout the day, and then you accomplish them, and then you make them bigger and bigger and bigger. For example, if you go out to the mall, right? You go out to the mall, and you don't you say, "I'm gonna go to the mall, buy a shirt, and talk to a girl, say at least hello to a girl," right? Even though you don't feel like leaving the house, you do it anyways, and you accomplish that. Then you see that cute girl and say, "Hey, thought you were cute, just wanted to say hello." Even though that's a bad opener, not really the worst opener, but at least you set out to something that you wanted to do. And for most guys, that's still very terrifying. Um, Next day, you do something, you set another goal. I'm going out, I'm doing this over and over. And then you can be extreme like me and say, I'm gonna book a trip or to Norway for 10 grand. I don't know what's gonna come from it, but I'll see what happens. And then you have the freaking time of your life, and you're diving down mountains 5,000 feet high as you, and you're getting the most gorgeous sceneries. Here's another thing I just recently did. Um, I recently reached out to a monster truck event to film with my FPV drone. I reached out on Tuesday, and on Thursday I didn't hear anything. By the way, the event was on the Saturday. So Tuesday I reached out. Thursday I hit them back up and was like, "Yo, just want to make sure, just want to see if you got my invitation to sponsor the event, blah 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 blah." Didn't hear anything, and I was supposed to go to Nashville that Saturday anyways. The guy hit me up on Friday. "Hey, I'm interested." Get on a phone call, we talk it out. I sponsor the event. Um, Saturday, I show up. I cancel my trip to Nashville, and Nashville's part of a trip, a series of things that I'm doing. Cancel everything, and I show up to the Monster Truck Show on Saturday, and I have a freaking ball, bro. I'm like, I can't believe I'm chasing monster trucks right now, bro. Ain't no way. And matter of fact, I'm gonna show you guys as I'm talking, so you guys can have some visuals besides seeing my handsome face. Hold up, hold up. Let me see. Let me see where the monster truck roundup. Right, you guys can see what I'm looking at. And if I had let that fear overcome me, I would have never gotten that opportunity. I'm actually going to be filming them next Friday as well again. I've met some really cool people, and because of it, I've met other cool people that have done cool things. I would have never met the drift car legend that was there. I would have never met a member of the Jackass series that was there. I would have never met this guy that was there. Like, yo, all these cool people just from going to this event, but reaching out and then reaching out again, right? A few winters ago, I flew into fireworks in Ocean City, and I said to myself, "Damn, am I really going to drive 3 hours just to do this? Is this going to even happen? Is the wind?" And my very first time doing it, there was a thunderstorm on that New Year's Eve, and I was like, and as I was driving to Ocean City, I'm getting pelted with rain. But when I got to Ocean City, dry as the desert. I could have said something sexual, but I'll leave that for another day. Dry as a desert. And I flew into the fireworks for the first time, and I was like, oh my God. If I had never gone to Utah off of an ad and I've never met this guy, this drone teacher before, I would have never even went to Norway, South Africa, and then even teaching in South Africa a second time. If I had let doubt come across me and said, man, I can't afford this, I can't do this, and they're all just coping mechanisms because you can afford it, especially if you live in America, credit cards, and you better pay that shit off. You can do anything, because that's exactly what I did. And now it is blossomed into something tenfold. Right. But even with all those wins, I still face this fear of doubt all the time. Like, there's a Chris Brown and Usher concert that's going around. By the way, I went last Monday. Freaking epic. That shit was lit. That shit was lit. And I was kind of disappointed because I was in the section. No, there was a good amount of good looking girls, but a lot more unattractive women. But it was lit, bro. That's a whole beside the. It was lit, man. I was like, well, I actually know a lot of these guys' songs. Like, it was tough, man. And so my goal is to actually fly to help them produce their shows, FPV, to them. And I have a contact for it. And I've been bullshitting on the proposal because I'm always thinking, I'm finally done, by the way. I've actually finished it. So I need to send the proposal to them. I'm crunching in some numbers now. But for a while, I had the idea and I let doubt affect me and not work on the proposal because I was like, these guys are going to want to work with me. What does it matter? Me getting in my way. Instead of just asking life out and wondering if life will say yes or no, I'm still debilitating life. Mom, is it going to work? What? Like, what am I doing? Come on, bro. Like, what am I doing right now? Come on. This is whack. And and here's another thing that I was in the bed yesterday as well. I was in the bed yesterday and I realized something big yesterday, and I understand why this generation, TikTok kids or whatever. And if you're on TikTok, if you're watching me on TikTok, I appreciate you. Don't think I don't appreciate you. I can see why people are kind of just stuck in the house, not doing what they want to do, not living the life they want to live in. They're kind of just there. Right? They're kind of just there. I was watching Streamer University yesterday. After I did some filming yesterday night, I bathed, put my stuff away, and I just hopped on Streamer University to kind of see what it was like. Like, yo, I'm a streamer. Like, I gotta claim it. So let me look what other people are doing to not only get ideas, but to also understand what the landscape looks like. And it's amazing how we have the technology to kind of be like God's eye. And they say God is omnipresent, right? And meaning that everywhere at all times. And streaming has allowed us to do something like that. And it's kind of freaky. I'm scrolling through the Twitch app. And as I'm watching one streamer, I can see other people's live streams. So I can go bounce back and forth, back around on different live streams. Like, I'm literally the camera's eye, which is kind of like God's eye. I can see them all at the same time. And it's incredible. They're all in one place, but they're all living different lives and different perspective, but it all converges into one thing. And it's so freaking cool. If you don't understand that, that's wild to me. But I'm looking at these people live their life and I'm like, damn, I'm glad I lived my life. But I can see why people get caught up in trying to, they're just spectators of their own, of other people's lives. Half of these people are not going to be fantastic streamers in the future. Let's just call it what it is. They got an opportunity to go to Stream University. Kudos to them. Kudos to them. That you got really lucky, which is awesome. But if you don't take advantage of that for long term, you're not going to go anywhere with it. And some of these people are just chilling. They're not really doing much. This is fine. Fine. Oh my gosh, she's so fine. I'm not even going to shout out her name, but she's so fine. Italian and Mexican, I think. Whew, I'm going to say, yo, when I saw that girl, I said, damn, how much she cost? You feel? How much she cost? And she chilling. I'm not saying she's not interesting, but she just chilling. She's not really interacting with the crowd. And she got 1.1K people watching her. And I'm like, damn. If I was a fine chick, bro, I would have the world in my palm, bro. And then I'm looking at this other girl who is not as attractive as her, but still very cute. She talking to the camera, this, that, and like all the time, in her face, showing the case in the world. She got 58 people following her or watching her. I'm like, damn, the dedication. I see guys 200, 300. DDG got 40K people allegedly watching them. They say streamers bot view, so I hope not. I'm pretty sure they do, but they still bot view. It is what it is. And I'm like, damn. Shawty got 58. DDG got 44, still interacting with people. And everything in between, you see people not doing it, people doing it. And there are some people on the opposite end that's like, yo, I wish that was me. Whether that's you or not, it don't really matter because I applied. Did I get in? No. And that's okay. I'm still streaming. I'm still practicing. I'm still going through the doubt that I got 2-3 viewers watching me right now. And one day I'm going to have 1 million people watching me. But I got to train in between, right? So I got to overcome that doubt and just keep on going. Because, hey, it is what it is. That's part of the game. Because at least you have slow motion. And slow motion is better than no motion. Always remember that. Slow motion is better than no motion. People don't watch me. That's okay. It is what it is. And I'm going through it. Like I said, I'm watching this show and I'm like, I'm having a ball actually. Like, wow, this is really cool. It's really cool to see. Because one day I'll be in the same place. I'm going to be the unk on campus because most of these people are range from like 19 to 28 max. There was another guy named 6'8 the Great. He's like in his 30s or 40s, he says, but I'm pretty sure like he's in his 30s. And because he's an older gentleman, right? He's an unk like me, as the young kids say. That's crazy when young kids be like, "Yo, what's good, unk?" I'll be like, "Nigga, I'm only 31." Like, what? And I got a big kid spirit, bigger than you, bro. I just got more means to do stuff. And he's chilling. Guys in his 30s, he's chilling, but around all these young cats are like who are like in their 20s, drinking and smoking on stream is crazy, by the way. You would never catch me doing that. You would probably catch me classy, glass of wine, mixed drink, max, but you're not gonna see me chugging shots on stream. These little cute Latinas were doing that, and I was like, bro, I can't believe they letting this happen on Twitch. But you get banned if you call someone like what? Priorities, bro. Priorities on the internet is freaking nasty. But anyways, these people believed in themselves. They applied and they got in. Nuts. And I almost let doubt even allow me and not allow me to even apply for myself. And yes, I applied on the last day, kind of overthinking it. But I was thinking like, yo, bro, according to the stats, Streamer University, it was about 1 million, millions of people applied and only 120 people got in. And that they say They say the odds are harder. They say the odds are more are worse than Harvard University. And to me, that is nuts. That is much. There's more people that want to get into Streamer University than Harvard University. That is crazy. Will I ever get into Harvard? Nah. Will they ask me to come speak one day? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But you got to be someone to do something like that, right? Challenge accepted. But how do I even get to that point? Again, it's going through the motions and overcoming that fear of not being able to do it or not being able to achieve it. Belief in yourself is the hardest thing. And I saw that today or yesterday. Belief is a full-time job and you got to show up every day. And I wish I could quote the person that said it. God, I wish I could quote the person. I wish I wrote that down and said I wrote that like, yo, belief is a full-time job and you got to show up every day for yourself because ain't nobody else going to believe in you, bro. Ain't nobody else going to believe in you. You'll have a few friends here and there. Shout out to Bucks, my boy. He's watching me on Twitch. I don't think he's watching me anymore because he said something stupid. But and I retorted back to his ass. But he said to me the other day, he was like, "Bro, do you not know what you can do?" And I'm like, "Damn, that's something I would say to him when he be doubting himself. I'll be like, "But do you not see the Nigerian God that's in front of me?" As a good friend, right? You got to hype up your boys because ain't nobody else gonna hype them up. And I was like, "Damn, like, why is it so hard to believe in yourself, but you believe in others so easily?" That shit is crazy to me. Crazy to me. So I do got to wrap up. This is a really short stream. I wish I could have did more, but we did touch a lot of topics, right? How I let fear how I let fear stop me from um you know how I let $70,000 slip through my fucking fingers, bro. Are you serious right now? You train for 10 plus years in something and you still let doubt affect you? That's fucking nuts. And but it consistently takes action of it consistently takes action of just going through the motion and going through the trials and tribulations and learning and learning and learning and going through it. All right. Because like I said before, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's understanding fear is there and moving through it anyways. I'm not the best Christian, and quite frankly, I never will be, because as he said, he who has not sinned cast the first stone. You know, it is what it is. Because I love big booty Latinas. So I can't. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. But hold up, here's the biblical verse for my other boys, and I'm not pushing religion on y'all, but I just know that the light of God shines through me. Hold up. There we go. My favorite verse that makes me tear up every time. Psalms 23:4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Your rod and your staff is not only yourself, the spirit that was given into you, the talent that was given to you. So when you go up to the pearly gates, you can actually use it. And the shield that's on your back are the people that really have your back. That really have your back, man. So go out there and make that first step, bro. Go out there and make that first step. If this stream helped that one person that need to help. I appreciate you. After reaction gods. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining the stream. Brother Bacola, out in the stream, I see you. Appreciate you. Hey, you can always check this stream on recap. It's always there on the YouTubes. So if you need this message, you need this message. Um, yeah, if this helped anyone, at least I tried my best to be part of that solution for you. That it just takes that one step, man. Like they said, like I said, always say, sometimes you just gotta say to that girl, "Yo, thought you was cute. What's up?" Obviously, she's gonna say, "Ill boy, get out of my face," because it is what it is. Oh, it's not. It's Nick. What's good, my guy? What's good? What is good? It's good to see you in the stream, my man. It's good to see you in the stream. Um, and yo, everyone has to make their bed, but you got to keep building off of it, right? So appreciate you. Much love. If you got something from the stream, the Venmo and the Cash App's right there. By the way, guys, like just saying the saying. I might not have made 70K off of these off of this shorting this stop, but a dollar or two in the Cash App would really help. I got to go fill up my gas tank right after this, so rock out with your boy. You feel me? You feel me? And go make your dreams happen, man. Go make your dreams happen. Even some of the guys in the chat right now, after speaking to them in the last 3 years and getting to know them in the last 3 years, they've all made the leap of faith in their certain aspect. And there's always fumbles in between, bro. There's always lots of fumbles in between. But yeah, when you die and when you go to the pearly gates, hey, he might not like this, but you can say, he was like, "So what you do with the talents, bro?" Nigga, we made it. And I'm out. Much love and peace.